Hello. Hello. I honestly thought I would have something clever or, some big news to share or anything like that before this, countdown got down too far, but frankly, I haven't. Frankly, I'm just, do doing what I can. That's what my day's been, doing what I can. Don't know how many peeps are in the chat right now. I will be real with you, it's very tempting to just it's a very blah day. Not like a terrible day. It's not like what's Muhuzi, that Alex dude with the, like the story of like the no good very bad day or anything like that. It's just a day. Like have you ever had those days where like it's not a bad day, it's not a good day, and you just want to like just like tuck into bed and shit? You ever have those where you're just like, yeah, nah, I'm clocked out. Let me just curl up in bed and what have you. That's what it feels like for me. Like it just feels like a day for me to be like, right, we're gonna cookie. Thank you for the 5 bits, Phantom. Quick chat, whoever. I do have a say in these things, Phantom. I very much do. Also, nice try. The TTS bot needs at least 10, not 5, but at least you got your cookie. There's at least that. Excuse me. But yeah, blah blah. Where's my brain at? The brain is like, the hands can't do the tracking very well when my fingers go away from like the front of my chest over towards like the front of my face, because at this point here, tracking gets lost because I'm just busy stroking this long hair chin that this long chin hairs that I have. Although I don't know how it's able to get, I don't know how it gets the tracking all the way up to here. Like it almost gets my face. It almost does. Like bam. Like for whatever reason, once the thumb gets to the chin, it can't do it. But from here, it's perfectly fine. Ah!
The _phantom_master 117 paid me to say nope you don't. You have a contract with chat.
Nah. Started having a bit of a migraine and sinus problems, so mega brain fog for me right now. Understandable, Shinzo. I unfortunately don't have a migraine or a sinus problem, so I hope you get better and what have you, because the stuff that I'm going through is nothing like that. I'm just low energy, and I just don't want to do shit. But I told myself I was gonna go and excuse me, throat. I told myself I was gonna go play some Okami. I'm not playing it right now, though, because I just want to, I don't know, I just want to try and find the energy in chat. You have the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga game? Nice! I remember that was that was like a free game on Epic Games during the Christmas holiday at some point. Like, some reason during the Christmas holiday, they had that as, like, as a game that you were able to, you know, play. So, good on them, I guess. So, yeah, and then... Ugh. I played it, like, years ago with DLC. It has DLC already? Are you sure? I didn't think it had DLC. Oh, maybe it had DLC, like... No, wait. Did they have Mandalorian DLC or something? Or like Ahsoka Tano? Yes. Okay, so it's like for the TV shows, the Star Wars TV shows that they did. Okay. Right, T-O. That makes a little bit of sense. Also, how in the world... I've been trying to charge this keyboard. Maybe I need to, like, turn it off temporarily? So that, and then maybe it'll, like, charge faster. But I'm trying to charge this keyboard up just so then that way there's enough juice in this thing so that when I start playing for, like, the next, you know, 2 or 3 hours, or I need to go to bed and such like
Hendrix
that.
demands you drink.
I forgot my water! Oh, god damn it, I forgot the water. Gosh, no, I forgot something. Alright, hang on a sec. Let's see if this BRB screen works. If it doesn't, then we got problems. Nah, the BRB screen doesn't work. For whatever reason, clip shoutouts and BRB screens from Sidekick are no longer working. Alright, I'm gonna move this table into standing mode as I go and get my water. As Hendrix has redeemed a self-care, and quite frankly, I should just have a sippies of water. It's funny, I see the cute Zeebs is on, and I found him in the big plains too. Oh, you found a zebra in the big plains. Interesting. Anyway, my water. I gotta go get my water. There we go. Got my water. But yeah, I don't know what to tell you about my don't know what to tell you about my energies. Like, I kind of know exactly why it is. I've been like, I don't want to drink any soda. I don't want to drink any tea or coffee in the evening. I am trying to do... Why is it saying the thingy-majiggies were disconnected? Like, what's up with that? Hang on, it's telling me that my leap motion was disconnected for whatever reason. Let me just plug it back in and see what happens. Hand tracking is reduced because the camera is connected via 2.0. Connect via USB for high quality... What the fuck? This is a 3.0. There, wait, is it connect? Okay, now it's saying it's connected. Hang on a second. Is it, like, is it actually connected, or is it having a... Hang on. It's at this point that I open up the control panel and see if it gives me the warning. Hi there, Izzy. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, it's telling me the quality is reduced because it's, you know, running at 2.0 speeds rather than 3.0. All right, let me disconnect it and we'll try one more time. Because this is a 3.0. Like, this should be a relatively... Not for whatever reason, it's running... It's running, like, via 2.0 for whatever reason, which makes no sense, because this is one of those, like, you know, lengthy... Hand tracking was set by an outside... Hand tracking is reduced because the leap motion controller is connected via USB 2.0, but it's not. That's the weird thing. Why is it saying, like... Huh? I don't know. You're trapped at a mall by obligation. Parentheses, you told a friend who lived nearby to come here for an ass-kicking meme, and now they're telling me to stay put. Wait, hang on, what? So... Also, Phantom sent me a DM and told you about the dinosaur. You forgot to say that she is done. Nice work on getting a new OC. Sorry. So you're trapped at a mall because a friend who lived by, you wanted to show them an ass-kicking meme, and now they're telling you to wait at the mall. Is that what's happening? So wait, you were at the mall already for something completely different, and now they're telling you to wait there. Alright, hang on. I don't know why my controller is thinking that it's a hang on. Device manager. It's at this point that I do the needful and I find out which one of my buses is having the issue of detecting the leap motion properly. There are tools out there where you can come to the mall for an ass kicking and they said, bet, stay put. Oh, okay. Thank you for the 200 bits, Phantom. I appreciate it. Thank you. So yeah, I got your DM about the DLC thing. You're already here because you felt like going for a walk and you got a smoothie for getting your dry cleaning. Honestly, good call. Good call on rewarding yourself on the smoothie for getting your dry cleaning. I am not yet in a position where I can reward myself with food for doing a good job. I am still in, like, you know, weight loss mode and what have you. Oh, hello. For whatever reason, my PC is flicking in and off of the, device thingy. Oh, no, it's fine again. Alright. So, alright, so Valve has the 3.2, which is in a 2.0 hub for whatever reason. Nope, it had Defender things. Nope, it didn't have Defender things. What is going on with my... Alright, hang on. So, there's a USB 2.0 hub, and then there's the thingy-majiggy in here. Alright, so we've got the... Alright, so the first port is the receiver, second port is thing. 3 and 4 aren't being used. Then there's a Bluetooth wireless thing. And... Alright, so... We got a hub. I think... Yeah, it's a 2.1 hub that has the webcam, the keyboard link, and an iPhone. So it's not that. Via Labs 2.1. It's not that. Here it is, port 3, the leap motion tracking camera. So that's over in the... Yeah, what the... So, USB hub thingy-majiggy, restart device. This is gonna cause a lot of problems, but let's see what happens. Oh goodness, things are gonna break very soon. Honestly, this was a treat. Getting the dry cleaning on time is a reward for itself. Oh, okay, no, that's good, that's good. So yeah, I am currently down to, like, 107 kilos right now, and it's really annoying trying to... Alright, hang on a second. So if I safely remove... Because, yeah, this should be in a, you know... Vetoed. Yep, cool. Restart port. Port not restarted, you need Windows 10. Okay, hang on a second. I am going to need to run this thingy-majiggy as administrator, otherwise it's not going to let me do the things I want to do. The real punishment is having to slowly drink your smoothie, so you still have some time by the time the friend gets here. Well, no, aren't you gonna be, like, fighting them and shit like that? And, like, you'll need your smoothie emptied out by then, I imagine. Alright, so, not that hub, not this. Here it is, the leap motion here. Restart device. So, yeah, so that's on companion port 3 of 8. It's on a 3.0 hub, so it should be enough. I don't know why it's thinking the cable can't do, you know, high speed. Like, that's a little bit ridiculous. Restart port. Here we go. So, yeah. So, the thingy-majiggy is disconnected. I don't want to just sit at the smoothie place doing nothing. Look, fair enough. But hey, at least it means that you're here with me. Yay. Alright, Casimir Hempter, thank you so much for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. Alrighty, let's have a look. Is the thingy-majiggy connected again? It is, and it's not giving me a warning that the USB is only processing at, like, 2.0 speeds. It's actually doing at 3.0 speeds now. Wait, is it 3.0 or 3.1? 3.0. It's doing it at 3.0 speeds, which is absolutely fantastic. Hamster. I'm so sorry. That's just what's popping up in my head right now when I saw the name. Casimir Hamster. Is that like, you know, properly planned there? The Hamster. Husky has arrived and he's brought his pack. Husky? Are you Husky, Captain Power, or are you talking about someone else? Also, you are a hamster first, so hamster. Yep, okay, cool. So, hamster was planned. Good to know. Also, why is come on, hands. Hand tracking is lovely, but oh my goodness, when you're your own, like, you know, when you're your own, like, VTuber, like, you know, guy, like, you're not someone that's, like, throwing your stuff to, like, other people to work on and shit. Like, oh my goodness, you have a hard time. Also, why is... this... my camera is having a... Oh, you're maybe connected to a USB hub or low-powered, which can cause hand tracking issues. Try another port. What do you mean, try another port? Oh my goodness. Alright, hang on. Alright, so that's being disconnected. And do I have another port I can plug this into? Not on the back of this thingy-majiggy, I don't think. Oh, wait, maybe here? Maybe. Let's see what happens. So, oh, god damn it, there's a raid while I'm in the middle of, like, doing troubleshooting on my own PC. Maisie Corgi? Hello! Welcome! Good to see you! Okay, that's USB 2.0. That will not work. Disconnect you, reconnect you into here. Hang on. Oh my god, it's a corgi and they were digging a hole. They are a corgi and they're digging a hole. Diggy hole. Hands? Come on. Hands is reduced because the camera is connected via USB 2.0. God fucking damn it. Something decided to, like, update on my PC. Let me know. I can't... I'm fine. I don't need a direct message of your OC. You got like 20 of them. Hi. I can't wait. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna disconnect this thingy-majiggy because oh my goodness, like this thing is not doing. It's not doing a good job. So unfortunately, no hand waving, no cool animations for the viewers. I am so sorry because my thing is broken. Thank you so much, Maisie, for the raid. I greatly appreciate it. I wish I could be way more emotive with the hands and the arms and such while I'm standing up, but unfortunately I cannot do so. I don't know what happened with my leap motion. It's being absolute. Who redeemed that? Who redeemed the leap motion update? Was there a leap motion update? Because like. You could probably check on a VOD. Like, I was in the middle of, doing a, I was in the middle of, like, my stream and such like that, and for whatever reason, my leap motion was like, oh, disconnected, and I'm like, what do you mean disconnected? And then I unplugged and plugged it back in, and they were like, we're now running at 2.0 speeds, and I'm like, why? But yeah. So, thank you so much. Thank you for the follow, Moondragon Luna, Captain Nova, and Tefolif Gaming. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna move this camera back over here, so then that way I'm like looking kind of straight at you and such like that. I am so sorry that you do not get to enjoy like me waving my arms about, because I'm a very expressive person. Like I'm not normally just like, well, bam. And in other news, like I'm not usually like that. I love like throwing my hands around and what have you. So maybe I can do like a little bit of a too emotive. Nah. Everything is too emotive for the hands that I have. Oh my goodness. Alright, so what did I miss from everyone that was ready? No! Scanned. Absolutely tiny scanned. What in the world? Alright, did it do the shout out for you? Yes, it did. A game about digging a hole. Nice! So, I'm guessing you had a very fun time digging a hole in a video game. I'm gonna move back over to the chatting screen. That way you don't see me with my hands just like, you know, pointing straight down and just like... So, breaking it down at 145% efficiency. Oh, I wish I could break it down at faster speeds than what the animation would give me. This is... The fastest I can break it down is like this. This is the fastest I can break it down. You chiseled like a Greek statue, goddamn, but man, sorry about the leap motion disconnect. It's okay. This is one of those days where, like, maybe leap motion or my PC is just having an absolute fun time because, okay, top tip for anyone that has a leap motion. You don't need to keep using the, oh, Jesus. You don't need to keep using the cable they give you. They give you a USB-C cable for, like, the most recent leap motion, and they want you to use USB 3.0. If you want, like, a decent-sized cable, because, let's say, for example, like me, GrantZeebs, you have, like, you like standing around for a bit. You like moving all the way to the right, moving it back a little bit. You know, if you like moving around and what have you, and you don't want to, like, you know, accidentally, like, coat hanger yourself or have your chest get pulled by the leap motion cable and such, what you want to do is you want to get a VR link cable. The VR link cable is, normally they're like 5 meters long or something amazing distance like that. And they are, 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty sure 10 times out of 10 because of the point of them being a link cable, 3.0. It is absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend if you ever need like an extra long cable. I know it says it's for VR, but trust me, a USB-C to C or a USB-A to C VR link cable is perfectly fine for any other device that decides to plug in via USB-C. You deserve having long USB cables. I think that the standard should be 2 meters and that it should be... I mean, a cable's a cable. If it's efficient, it's efficient. Yeah, basically. So yeah. Alright, so... What did I am so sorry that I missed on, like, people's message after the raid message. So, we've got Serotic being like, oh, hey, a Zimbo. Himbo, thank you very much. Also, when did I lose my shirt? I don't remember losing my shirt. So, yeah. That was a bit weirdies. Arrive in time for the Bouncy Pecs. Yes, the Bouncy Pecs is... It's both... It's a redeem, and if someone raids in, you will find me jumping up and down, like... this, which is absolutely fun. PC on fire, might as well have some dance. PC, thankfully, is not on fire yet. So, it's probably just a case where I'm going to need to do some firmware updates on all of my USB. Like, if I'm not streaming, my full-time job is IT. So, the best person who can... Hey, someone sub to the Zeeb, see what happens. Why are you looking at my boobies? Any whoosies. Oh, ding dong. But yeah, so if I wasn't streaming, I'm an IT professional. I am responsible for my own IT problems. I don't get to have like a fun secondary person on Discord to ring up, go beep beep boop beep boop. Hello, I've himboed this up so strongly. I need you to help me. Unfortunately, I don't have anything like that. I don't have like a partner or a roommate that's going to be able to help me do my PC repairs. Unfortunately, the best qualified person to fix my problems is me. Man, I really... Okay, you know what? 8th time's the charm. Plug that cable in. And then we plug this cable in. Hand tracking is reduced because the camera is connected via USB 2.0. Connect via USB 3.0 for higher quality hand tracking. So for whatever reason, it's still 2.0, but, you know, it kind of is okay. I don't know why it thinks it's low power. It might be because the cable I have is just, you know, cheap. But it does the work. But yeah, me, GrantZeebs, the most qualified person to solve my problems is me, which is really unfortunate. It means that if I decide to go break down crying, it means that I'm the only one who can get myself back up. Boobies, yes. Pecs, really. Like, look at this. Ooh. You can jiggle these. Can you jiggle your pecs, Maisie? I don't know if Punk Roxy can. Their pronoun says it, so who knows? I don't know what Punk Roxy. Do you have pecs or boobies, Punk Roxy? We call them moobs. No. Moobs are for the flabby man chest. These are pecs. Pecs have strength. Pecs have like they got oomphy powers in them. Powers are kept in boobs. Hey, I got my shirt back. Nice. Okay, yay. You got GG boobers. Nice. Excellent. Amazing to hear. Oh my god, the Twitch pronoun things didn't let me do she, it. Oh. Damn, that's a shame. I'll need to try and remember. If you visit my stream, I'm gonna need to remember Punk Roxy, she/it's, not it/she. I'll need to remember that. So, oh. Nice work on the 75% himbo. But yeah, I recently updated my himbo ratings. Unfortunately, Maisie, since you set yourself as she, her, the himbo rating changes over to a bimbo rating, as you see before you, because, you know, I was trying to respect people's pronouns. So, if you were looking for a himbo rating, I am really sorry. And then with its, I believe I've set it up as, it looks... Okay, so it does thembo. I thought I set it up so that if it was a they... Oh, no, I set it up so that if it's a they, them, it can revert... It go... No, I think I set it up so that they, thems, and alternative pronouns are set to... God damn it, I need to... Am I gonna have to, like, you know, fix my GrantZeebs? If you're wondering who GrantZeebs is, GrantZeebs is... Where is he? Where's my GrantZeebs? He's somewhere over here. GrantZeebs? This here is GrantZeebs. If you're wondering who's doing the ratings for the robots and shit, like, for the, like, you know, how big the pecs are, the gains, the curves, and what have you, this guy, right here. This little guy right here. He does the TTSs and what have you. So, maybe I need to put in a little thingamadiggy to, like, maybe make it so you can, like, forcibly check your himbo rating or something like that. But I didn't want to have people be able to, like, you know... Because here comes the clever bit. If Maisie tries to check their bimbo ratings again, it's going to tell them that they've already checked them today, and that it's at 86%. I have put so much fucking work into this stream,
Phantom
and some of it is...
Master 117 paid me to say you call old man boomer zebra.
What? What? I'm not old. I'm like 30. That's barely old. That's not even a midlife crisis. That's the standard age of a furry at this point. Also, hands. Why did you think there was a hand up here of all things? What in the world? But yeah, so I did all that kind of robot thingy-majiggies. You're 32? Yay! How does it feel after going through several financial crises? I don't know which part of the I don't know what part of the world you're a part of, but oh, what the hell? There's like no... Interesting. Alrighty then. Close that thingy-majiggy. Close this thingy-majiggy. If these programs decide to be even more problematic, like trying to do like hand tracking and shit like that, I will probably, you know, do something about it. Plug in the Xbox controller, and let me get Okami up and running. I probably should have gotten started on this a little bit sooner, but, you know, I like chatting. I was trying to get my energies up as well. Alright, hopefully that paused the music. Yes, it did. Ooh, 74... Nice work on the cute rating. 74% cute and 86% bimbo. Excellent work there, Maisie. Also, good work, Omega, on getting your 50% bimbo rating. Congratulations. Binks cutely. I don't know what the Binks cutely emote is supposed to look like. You got StreamerBot to open other programs when it opens. Nice! I just have like a Stream Deck that opens like several programs. I love StreamerBot. If you're wondering, like, StreamerBot is the reason for some of the stuff that happens here, like redeeming the cookies and the TTS and the dancing and more importantly, it's what does the himbo bimbo ratings and such like that. And also, by the by, Grove Oba, thank you so much for the follow. I do appreciate it. It's just a thing I say. Ah, cool. Ōkami. Here's the thing that I say. Get ready for this. Using no hands. Check out my throne. Hey, look at that! Also, hi there, Zaber's Slayer. Welcome to the stream. I have some voice commands. Some of them work. Some of them don't work. I have something like, you know, I have a Discord, or I love Blue Sky. But for whatever reason, like, some of them work and some of them don't. So you have to kind of rely on just using exclamation points for some of them. But yeah, we are now congrats, adds Grant, with the online amount. Thank you so much. We won't focus on the numbers because, my goodness, this was all thanks to Maisie Corgi giving me a raid just before we go into playing more of Okami. Who knows how much attention I will be able to keep. Wait, no. Rephrase that. Who knows how effective I will retain people's attention? There we go. Got it. Probably confidence scaling in the voice recognition. Probably. And also probably the fact that voice commands doesn't give you the option to come up with, like, multiple, like, commands. Oh, that reminds me. New move. Piss. There we go. I have a power move where I get to piss. And it's really helpful because... There we go. Because it gives you demon fangs and shit. Z is the great attention keeper. To be real with you, Z is... Like, Scribbly Noodle, bless him. He's done a lot of work getting to where he is. I am very envious of him, but, you know, I gotta be in my own lane. Also, have I already fed these bunnies? No, I have not fed the bunnies. We gotta feed the bunnies. Bunny! Look at these little guys. Zoom in. Enhance. Enhance. Moving off that way. Maybe zoom out a little bit. Look at these albino rabbits. Look at these albino rabbits. I bet you people would look at some of these rabbits and would be absolutely scared, frightened by them. But they're just a little guy. He's just a little guy. God, you love this game. You platinumed it on console when you got it. Oh, that is awesome to hear. I'm not a platinuming or like completionist kind of player. I will be real with you. I am like Captain Nova. Me. Are you a bunny, Captain Nova? Are you, is that your persona? Wait, hang on. How many people in this chat right now have a persona, like a main persona? Because, you know, obviously me, GrantZeebs, following Zebra, Punk Roxy. Ooh, I'm gonna guess, I'm gonna guess that Punk Roxy is a goat. Am I... That, like, from the cursory glance that I was able to make, is that a goat? Is that what she is? Is she a goat? All right, hang on. Why are you? Come on. This one annoys me a lot because, like, I kind of have to wait for them to do their thing. Like, watch this. They're gonna... Because every time I try and engage them, like, they do an umbrella, like, they use their umbrella to block, so I have to, like, wait for them to engage and then do the counter. Captain Nova. I need to guess Captain Nova's. Captain Nova. With... Here's the unfortunate bit as well. I don't know if Captain Nova has done, like, a little, like, himbo himbo, bimbo, thembo, cute check or anything like that. So I'm doing my best guess without having a chance of looking at their profile, because in order to look at their profile, I'd have to like Alt-Tab and shit like that. Alright, hang on. Nope, it's B. There we go. Thank you for the... Oop. Screw you. I was gonna, like, do a good dodge, but instead you just... There we go. There's that one out of the way, and then... There's that one out of the way. With no information or profile icon for Captain Nova, or because I missed Captain Nova's thingamadiggy, are they a lion? My dumpy! A hint is in my name. Captain Nova. Okay, Nova Corps. Wait, Nova Corps? No. Captain... Falcon? Are you a Falcon? Remember, I am himbo as fuck. This is why playing games of nostalgia might sometimes excite people or infuriate them, because quite frankly, this is what I'm doing right now. My best. Alright. Hitting. Go. Blocking you and hitting you. Oh, I got a second horn. Nice. Would you like to give you... Yes, please. Marvel's Captain Nova. Oh. A cat? I feel like I was really close with the lion. You could have told me I was close with the lion. Alright, what did this game need me to do next? The power of the catwalk. Now you can climb walls anytime you want, simply by summoning the mark of the Kabagami, just like that. Speaking of which, remember those other we saw? We should try new brush techniques on them, too. Dragon Palace, Whirlpool, need to... Alright, so the Orca needs us to find something. I don't know what the Orca is hoping for us to find. There we go. Slamming you into the ground. There we go. Alrighty. Nova Beast. Oh. Also, I'm lagging? What in the world? Thank you for noting this. Give me a minute to see if there's like some sort of program I've left running. Because I don't think I've... Hang on. Close you. You're using my CPU, I suppose. Give me a second. Hang on. It's weird to have more than one thing giving me problems now. Because, like, the leap motion I kind of understood because of, like, you know, just it just randomly happened. But if there's other things, like, network-wise, perhaps, that are causing me problems, that will be a problem. And it would be really unfortunate. Yeah, and still... Am I doing any further lagging? No, it doesn't look like I'm doing any further lagging, so... Was it just a system update? Was, like, something just trying to update in the software, and that's why it was... like, what it was? It's not easy being a Zeebs. It's never easy. There's always something deciding to, you know, bust up your day. There shouldn't have been anything that wanted to do, like, automatic updates or anything like that. No, everything is up to date on here. So it would have to be something on my Unraid server, perhaps? But I'm pretty sure I have my Unraid server set. Yeah, it should be... Oh, it's at its maximum right now, trying to download something. I'm gonna... But that shouldn't be causing any issue. It looks like it's still causing numbers to go down. I'm gonna hit stop on that. Because it's possible that this thing is yeah, it's like trying to download like a 2.5 gig thingy-majiggy. Alrighty, let's see. Hopefully everything should be better in the next minute or two. Close that group. Close these tabs. Close YouTube. Just in cases. Twitch Inspector. You gotta eat for work, but have an amazing stream. Not to worry, Maisie Corgi. Absolutely understandable. Thank you so much. If my moderators are in chat, could one of them do a shout-out again for Maisie Corgi, just in case there's any new people that, you know, were finally able to get in after, you know, late notice or something like that? Matt, thank you so much for the raid. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope to try and keep as many of your viewers like, entertained as well as I can. Minus all of these, like, network difficulties that you're finding here and there. Because, yeah, looking at my Twitch Inspector, I can see that there's been there's been some moments of like unstable during, so like there was unstable for like 25 seconds, like, you know, for a 25-second period, another 25-second period, and yeah, at 6:35 another unstable period of 25 seconds. So color me curious as to why it would be wanting to have this unstable nonsense going off. Oh yeah, and that's my Discord. We have all kinds of channels and such. I definitely need more memes. I would very much appreciate if there were more memes. Sir Dragon does a few memes here and there, but, you know, hit or miss. Zach, once in a while. And then I'm way too, like, obsessed with TikTok and shit, so that one is going to be a tricky one to, you know, reconcile with. 3, 2, 1. And then, as they're down, piss on them. There we go. Record time in removing that. Alrighty, now we're going to go find the... Oh, ants. Now we're going to go, like, to the north coast, and we need to find a whale, because then the whale will allow us to, Hang on, do I talk to you? Nope, I talk to you, don't I? Yep, open the gate. What's that? Because we need to find an orca, and the orca needs, and we need to find a whirlpool before the orca will take us to the Dragon Palace. Blah, blah. Yeah. Hands. Come on. I wish there was a better way of, like, presenting my hands while playing a video game on controller. I don't have, like, the perfect solution in my brain yet. I probably should ask Z how he does it. Excellent. I'm not losing too much health now, which is great. So yeah. If you have a main that is more slender, dust horse, this is my main. Ah, thank you for the input, Warhorse Indra. I'm sorry that I missed that when I asked my earlier question about what people's persona were. Come on, butterfly. Do your thing. Oh, Oh, so when the umbrella is out, then I can do the thing in the diggies. Okay, so they need to have the umbrella out for me to, you know, be able to do the whole, you know, ruin their, So that's how I can break out of their, like, you know, playing the waiting game. You can also get the same as well. There we go. Any more of these guys I gotta deal with? Nope. Doesn't look like it. Alright. But yeah. So, for those of you that are, you know, a little more comfortable, a little less lag going off right now, I am a variety himbo streamer. I go through, like, all sorts of different games that are existing in my backlog. Now, some of them may be, you know, brand new games, Ames, so, you know, you might have caught me playing... Actually, no, I haven't played, like, Path of Exile 2, actually. That is a brand new game. Also, foxes. Do foxes eat meat? Yes, foxes eat meat. But yeah, so sometimes I'll play brand new games like Path of Exile 2 or... Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. I have not played that many new games in recent memory. I have been playing way more older games, though, to be real with you, such as Okami, as you're seeing right now. Back on Monday, I was playing Ninja Gaiden, or, Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. So, I feel like that's where I'm kind of finding my niche, is I want to try and catch up on video games that people may have already had a chance to play on the PlayStation 2 and such, and I've not had the opportunity to play, and be like, you know what? Let's see what this video game is all about. If you want to see my Sona, it's in the Persona section. Excellent! Thank you for contributing to the Persona section. I really appreciate it. So yeah, I find it really hard to, like, socialize with people and what have you. It takes a lot of energy. I find that streaming I use as sort of like a half-handed way of doing it. So, where's my brain at? Come on, Zeebs, Grant, you can do this. So yeah, so I'm an introvert at heart. I very much am. Hello, cats. I very much, you know, I expend energy by, like, trying to socialize and what have you, and it takes quite a bit out of me when trying to do the socializing. But I love playing video games. And so, one of the things that I've done... There we go. And then... So that floats up to the top now. Ding. Alright, so that gives us our beads. Alright, there's our little thingy. And then that floats to the top. Oh, it gives us a mermaid thing. Nice. Alright. Awesome, thank you for the mermaid coin. But yeah, I normally, like, way too much energy is spent, like, you know, just doing socializing and going about my day-to-day. So, I use the streaming as, like, sort of this means of, like, you know, I'm socializing to the best of my ability, but I'm using video games to kind of, like, you know, make this to try and recuperate whatever energies, or distract me from the fact that I'm trying to, you know, make parasocial relationships on the internet and all this nonsense. Oh, god damn you. Fuck you. Why did you have to put all this water out here? There better be a way to get rid of this water. Weird striped horse, lol J. Also, just call me Fulf. Awesome. Noted. You're also too introverted at heart, but you love streaming. Yeah. I feel like streaming is one of those it's one of those weird things where it's like, oh, you're trying to do a very extroverted thing, but by playing video games, you try and, you know, distract your brain from that kind of nonsense. Wow. this just to try and, you know, upset them as much as I can. There we go. That's it. It's like being at a sports bar, as someone said. You just sit back and enjoy something while talking to your friends and other stuff. You know, that's probably a good way to explain it. That's probably a good way to explain, like, you know, the benefit of, like, or what I find beneficial about streaming while trying to socialize and what have you. So yeah, so I don't know why the ocean water here is, like, yellow and shit. And that guy is trying to, like, you know, shoot at, like, some weird, some weird peach on that tree over there. But yeah, anywhoosies, I very much am... Oop, no, not that way. Damn it. Cookie for Bookie! Here's your cookie, Bookie. Enjoy your cookie. So yeah, way too much energy is expended trying to socialize, which makes it, like, extra difficult trying to, like, you know... Sure, I have a Discord, but quite frankly... Gosh darn you, Rosenroth. Quite frankly, I might need to do something about the Discord, because it is, like, I'm not a big streamer. And, like, trying to have, like, any sort of, you know, socializing on other platforms is very difficult, personally speaking. Just because, you know, you work a full-time job and such like that.
Did you see it?
Did it. What am I missing, Sir Dragon?
Did you see it?
What do you hate more, GrantZeebs muggy humid weather or dry heat? Muggy humid hot weather over dry. Like when it's humid, it is terrible. You are having you're having a poor time even after you have a shower and all that kind of nonsense. It is just not, it is not for me, personally speaking. I would much rather a dry weather, because if you go into a room and it has air conditioning, you are going to be able to have a much easier time cooling the room when it's dry as opposed to wet. No! Come on! There we go. Ah! The entrance to the Dragon Palace is a whirlpool, but it's hidden. Right now, you must find the whirlpool, or minutes as fast see. Alrighty, so we gotta find a whirlpool. And Rosenroth is really interested in the pecs. Alright. There we go. Alrighty, let's see if there's something in... Skip that. Alright. What is here at this tree? Thank you for the Traveler's Charm. That one is greatly appreciated. This part always trips up new players. I imagine... Because, like, I also saw that guy, like, swimming around the what's-mahoozy. Alright. So there's that. Ooh. Hello. Huh. Wow, this guardian sapling is just bursting with blossoms. It's even starting to bear fruit. Of course, it's not ripe yet, so I keep... Oh! Hang on. Nope, that's not what I was meant to do. I was meant to do that. Okay, I don't know how to deal with that. Huh. I swear that's what you needed to do, is you needed to, like... Because it would, like, rejuvenate it. Like, so, like, this one, for example, you just go, like... Whee! And there you go. So... So yeah, so there's that there. So if I go like this... Nope, that's the sun once again. Oh. Yeah, I don't know how to deal with rocks right now, so that's a problem for another day. Yep. Find the whirlpool before we can go anywhere, before we can get into the Dragon Palace. So there's that scary village over there, and then there's all these places. Alright, we're just gonna do some classic exploring then. Yeah, so there's the water dragon, and we have to be careful not to, like, get caught by it. And then there's this place here, but it doesn't look like there's a... It doesn't look like this particular spot has any easy ways for us to get up here. At least not as far as I... Oh, there's the cat! Yeah, get off the orca here. Okay, I know what we need to do. Hang on a second. There we go. Alright, so, dink. Donk. Cats. Here's some fish for the cats. I did not know until someone pointed this out to me, like, the last time I was streaming Okami, but apparently, these cats over here, these fucking furballs, that is actually a cat race called Calico. I thought when someone said calicos, they were talking about, like, you know, palicos from Monster Hunter. I thought they were talking about that. Goes to show what I know. Alrighty, there we go. Alright, so now we're up here. Because it looked like there was someone we could talk to while up here as well. Alright, so we got fish back. Alright. Show us. Oh, god damn it, it's just another... It's... whatever the fuck this guy's business is. Alrighty. Alright. I don't know if I was doing the right thing, but that's what I'm doing. Also, hi there, little Incineroar. Amazingly enough, you were not one of the first people to redeem the cake cam here. Huh? Someone there? This is Watcher's Cape. It's said the gods once used this place to return to the heavens. At night, this place offered a great view of the starry sky. Even the Whirlpool Galaxy was visible from the cape's tip. Whirlpool Galaxy? It's a group of stars. They form the shape of a great spiral, like a heavenly whirlpool. But since the demon-shaped island appeared out of the sea, there are more and more monsters about, and the skies have dulled. The magnificent starry view can no longer be seen. Alright, let's see how this goes. I'm here in the hope that I'll be able to make a wish, but shooting stars are rare now, not like before. If only a star would shoot across the night sky, then I could make a wish upon it. If you wish upon a star, it always comes true. Even the Whirlpool Galaxy might appear in the sky again. Why don't you stand next to me and help me look for the shooting star? Nope. There we go. There! A shooting star! I've got to make my wish right now! I wish that the sky was as magnificent as it was in the past, and that the Whirlpool Galaxy was visible again. Hey, that worked. I'm glad that exploring got me results. I'm very glad about that. That's it! The Whirlpool Galaxy! My wish really did come true! Good work, sir. Alrighty. Anything else to explore here? So I imagine I'm supposed to be going over there for whatever reason. Watcher's Cape. When the Whirlpool Galaxy spins in the distant heavens, a whirlpool shall open up below. Amy, I have a feeling we'll be seeing that entrance real soon. Yep, I imagine it's gonna be right fucking there. Wow! Check out that whirlpool of stars! It's like a huge windmill in the night sky. They say the Whirlpool Galaxy is the key to the Dragon Palace. If so, then the whirlpool entrance should be somewhere under it. Searching. The sea looks pretty calm to me, and the Whirlpool Galaxy isn't even swirling. What do we gotta do to make that whirlpool entrance appear? Oh, I think I have an idea. Ding, dong, and then spiral that shit out. Oh, maybe that other way around? Yeah! I think you're onto something. Maybe we were supposed to blow that starry whirlpool round and round. Try it again, Amy. Keep using the whirlwind power of yours. Yes! Okay. I unfortunately need to put my watch on charge because it's running out of battery, and I use it to monitor my sleep. Yes, I'm a boring Zeebs. I am a Zeebs that values my sleep. I have this watch like that monitors my sleep on how well I sleep, like, you know, I'm resting and what my resting heart rate is and such like that, and how much of it is REM sleep and such. I'm boring. This is why I don't stream until midnight, is because I very much value going to sleep before midnight. Give me a minute. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to run an advertisement while I'm putting my watch away. Be right back. And also, while I'm doing that, here we go. Bam. Or actually, no. Bam. This is what people want. Alright. I am back. Look! The Whirlpool entrance to the Dragon Palace. The Whirlpool Galaxy is bringing it to the surface. Okay, Amy, it's about time we got on down to that Dragon Palace. Let's go teach those Dragonians a lesson. They're gonna pay for not keeping that water dragon on a leash. Oh, it's an owl. Alright, so we get back to the Orca. From the Orca, we go and get the, we head over to the Whirlpool. Now, hopefully the Orca is exactly where we left them. There we go. Dog statue. Yes. I am the greatest. Orca? Where the fuck did you go? Are you kidding me? It didn't even wait that long. Ah, damn you. Another chest. Break you open. We get ourselves a stray bead. For now, I need to run, but keep safe and have a good stream. Not to worry, Warhorse Indra. Thank you so much for dropping in like you did. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you had a wonderful time. There we go. Got a little bit of solar energy from that as well. I'm glad that I wasn't taking forever trying to figure out that progression by Shinzo. I don't think I'm gonna figure out the Peach one anytime soon. Who knows? Maybe I will. Alright, let's see. What's this merchant got for me? I got plenty of mermaid coins at this point. I need more fish bags. Meat is always a good one to have. And... not really using a lot of these. I'll grab 2 of you, just in case. Because who knows, I might need to use them in battle to, like, you know, save myself from a very difficult foe. Also, how many demon fangs do I have? 64. Ah, okay, cool. So, not a lot. I think you need like 150 for like some of the stuff. Yep. Yeah. We shall now go to the Whirlpool! Hopefully I know where I'm going. Oh, there it is there. Dun, 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 dun. I guess he gave you some positive feedbacks. Alrighty, here we go! Into the Whirlpool we go! The Dragon Palace. Okay, question. Why is the Dragon Palace underwater rather than in, like, a volcano or something? Dragons are meant to be, like, breathing fire and flying in the skies. Like, why the fuck are they underwater? Finally, Amy! We made it through that whirlpool down to the bottom of the sea. That must be the Dragon Palace in the Kingdom of the Dragonians. Their leader, Otahime, controls the water dragon. We'd better not let our guard down. Alright, now I'm pretty sure we're missing, like... Under the sea. Under the sea. Down where it's winter. Take it from me. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. While you could be enjoying full time and floating under the sea. Ba 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 bum bum ba bum bum ba bum bum. Ba 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 bum 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 ba ba. Not all dragons are related to fire. Most Asian water dragons are water-based. Okay, makes no sense. Halt, you white beast! Hi. What business do you have at the Dragon Palace? You're asking us? The Dragonian Kingdom is no place for land dwellers. State your names. Who do you think you are, talking to us like that? Besides, you're the ones who let that water dragon run amok. I'm Isun, wandering artist and protector of Queen Himiko, the ruler of Senai City. Now hurry up and go fetch your leader Otahime for me. Chop chop. Thank you for the Hyper Himbo, Sir Dragon. I've no time for lowly servants. Himiko? Queen Himiko from Saiyan City? Then that white beast must be... Hey, what are you two babbling on about? You gonna go get Otahime or not? But yeah. Thank you for the clarification, Captain Nova. I appreciate it. This way, oh beast of white. Her Royal Highness will receive you in the throne room. Fantastic. Oh! Is the reason why we, like, the Japanese think of, like, dragons as, like, water-based is because of that, like, old story long ago of, like, the koi fish that, like, swam up the mountain waterfall or something like that, and through its effort was able to turn into a dragon? Alright, so not that way. Ugh, excuse me. Yes, I'm gonna be exploring. Beyond here lies the Soothing Springs. It's a place of relaxation for us Dragonians, so only our own permitted beyond this point. You must turn back. Amy, doesn't look like we've been meeting lots of girls lately. I mean, how long has it been since we ran into a guy? I only half hope they don't take advantage of me. Female-dominated societies in fantasy sound all appealing, but then you also have to contend with the fact of why the fuck is there no gender equality? Oh, it's you! Otohime invited you! But what on earth does she want with the wolf? And anyway, she's upstairs in the throne room right now. A lot of orbs. Can I do something about those orbs? Nah, the orbs, like, run away when I do things. Alrighty, Otohime, tell me. Welcome, both of you. Welcome to the Dragon Palace. You are in the kingdom of the Dragonians now. I couldn't care less who or what you are. All I'm interested in is that lady sitting on her rump over there. That's your leader, right? Well, we have some choice words for her. Yes, it is I, Otohime, ruler of the Dragon Palace and leader of the Dragonians. Leader of the Dragonians, Otohime. Anyway, we wanted to ask you something. You know that water dragon that's been running amok lately? It's under your control, right? Well, don't you keep that thing on a leash? And what's with you sending your emissary to come get us? Are you really that desperate? The Dragonians are prepared to do whatever is necessary. Amaterasu, origin of all that is good and mother to us all. What the? You know about Amy? The water dragon is our guardian deity and protector of the seas. It kept the peace by pacifying chaos whenever it reared its head. But that all changed just 1 month ago. Oni Island, the dark place of ancient legends, suddenly appeared. Evil beings swarmed into the sea and laid siege to the Dragon Palace. We mustered our forces to battle, but the enemy was too strong. Most of our realm fell into the hands of the forces of darkness. It was then that the water dragon appeared. With overwhelming strength, it routed the enemy forces. But the enemy's leader, the Dark Lord, had unimaginable power. The water dragon nearly fell in the face of his onslaught. So grave were his wounds that he flew into an uncontrollable rage. The dark forces then pulled back from the sea, leaving behind those chaotic waters plagued by the rampaging dragon. So you're saying that control of the water dragon? We never had control of the water dragon. It is our guardian deity. But its madness now endangers us as much as anyone else. You've gotta be kidding me. The water dragon is supposed to break the barrier on Oni Island. What hope do we have of attacking the enemy if it won't help us? Indeed, there is little hope left. It appears that all has gone as the Dark Lord planned. Would you like to listen to Her Royal Highness once more? The water dragon is our yeah, blah 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 blah. Okay, so we are just getting the same story as before. Ah. We can't break the barrier on Only Island without the water dragon. Himiko prayed so long and hard to locate that dang island, and now we can't even get to it. Come on, Amy. Don't you have some sweet weapon hidden up your sleeve? Please wait. It is true we cannot control the water dragon. However, there is still a way to harness its power. There is? Then why didn't you just say so? It is a deed of last resort and fraught with great danger. Alas, it is beyond our power. That is why we summoned you, Amaterasu. You probably want us to go tie a leash around the dragon, right? Well, we're not gonna do anything crazy like that. It's not like we couldn't pull it off or anything. Right, Amy? I mean, Arca would probably help us out, right? This deed of last resort is as follows. You must retrieve the Dragon Orb. Dragon Orb? What's that? So, you're saying we can just forget about the Water Dragon and go hunt for the Dragon Orb thing? Also, hi there, XJMA. Hey, thank you for the himbo cam. Welcome to the stream. Also, hi there, Zyup Ghost. Yes, we're talking with the Dragonians, who are all apparently like ladies like living under the sea, like Ariel style. So, I feel like in most lore and games, most dragon aren't inherently evil, usually just hurt and need help. Yeah, that's how they are. They're either very prideful creatures or very old creatures. They're never inherently evil or inherently good. Except in Skyrim, where they made dragons just be, you know, de facto evil or some nonsense, and it's like, wow, gee, thanks. Sounds like a piece of cake. I mean, we're treasure hunting bros. We already know the location of the Dragon Orb. It lies in the belly of the Water Dragon. You must enter the Water Dragon's body. Come again? The Dragon Orb is the essence of the Water Dragon's power. With it in my possession, I could easily break through the barrier that protects Oni Island. Will you not enter the Water Dragon through its gaping jaws? Okay, that sounds like some fucking, like, you know, Vor invitation nonsense. Do not, this is bait. This is Vor bait. Why? Why do video games of ancient lore of, like, either Norse, Greek, or Japanese mythology have, like, some giant creature, and then the next thing they have you do is go, I need you to be eaten by the creature whole. Don't worry, you'll survive. And retrieve the Dragon Orb that lies deep in its belly. With it, I could break the barrier that protects Only Island. Now wait just a second, lady. Amaterasu! Go get some orb from the water dragon's stomach? Are you nuts? This is the only way left to break the barrier on Only Island. Will you not enter the water dragon through its gaping jaw and retrieve the dragon orb that lies deep in its belly? With it, I could break the barrier that protects Only Island. Whoa, slow down there, sister. I make a habit of never saying no to a pretty face, but if my boss here says no, there ain't much I can do. Well, boss, we gonna help this chick or what? Yes we are. Bummer. Well, the boss has spoke. Huh? But Amy! Oh, great Amaterasu, your compassion is truly as deep as the sea, and you are ever quick to decide. This amulet will allow you to enter the Water Dragon's garden. Water Dragon's garden? That is correct. The Water Dragon makes its lair in a garden here at our palace. Here? At this palace? That thing lives here? It does, but it will not attack us as long as we leave it be. I doubt we would come out alive if we entered its lair. But I truly believe that Amaterasu can retrieve the golden orb. I shall pray for your safe return. Oh boy. Can I cut you? Nope, I cannot. Cool. Jump. Look at the mess we're in now. Why are we always so eager to please? Ah, forget it. Let's go get that barrier-breaking orb. The Water Dragon's garden should be around here somewhere. Okay, so the amulet isn't in my little list there. And then... Is there any hidden treasures up here? I wonder. It looks like there might be. Or there's just this lady here. Oh, since when do they let dogs into the Dragon Palace? Still, I'm not one to turn my nose up at customer, even a dog. Okay, so you're a merchant. Okay, cool. Alright, mermaid coins, feed bags, infinity slips. No. Alright, let's sell some treasures. There we go. Plenty of yen for whatever reason. Ah! Excuse me. The Water Dragon is in pain, there's no doubt about it. Deep in its heart, there is some terrible, profound anguish. Even if there's hardly a trace of it left now, I believe the peaceful dragon's heart is still in there somehow. Cool. The Water Dragon's mayhem at sea has had repercussions on land. On behalf of all the Dragonians, I apologize profusely. The Water Dragon is supposed to be the peacekeeping god of the sea, but ever since that day, it's changed beyond all recognition. Exorcism slip. Thank you. Ah! Alright, these guests have nothing for us. I will be real with you, I am getting sleepy. Oh, you've got a shell amulet! That means Otahime must have found you worthy. Forgive my rudeness. You may pass. Yay. Alrighty. Do not fall into the hole. Grab the infinity. Oh yeah, and there's advertisements. Sorry, chat. I have the pre-roll ads. I do mid-roll ads, so then that way viewers don't have to deal with mid-roll ads. Oh. What the? It's that pesky water dragon! How many times did that rampaging sea monster almost finish us off? So it makes its home here, eh? That's one huge, nasty-looking mouth on that thing. Sorry, so, yeah, you're right, Shinzo. So, clarification. Mid-roll ads that you're, or sorry, pre-roll, no. Yeah, no, these are mid-roll ads. Mid-roll ads, so these are advertisements that I am invoking myself and such. These are utilized, so then that way, viewers that are coming onto the stream don't need to deal with pre-roll ads. I really feel like Twitch has kind of messed up on advertisement. They should have made it into a fashion where, oh, if a user has viewed like one advertisement already, that they shouldn't have to deal with advertisements for like the next hour, regardless of like the next, like if they're hopping from channel to channel, it should be a case of, oh, first channel they went to was like you know, a 30-second ad or something like that. But then, you know, if they've been hopping in channels within the first hour, no advertisement pops up in those channels. That's obviously not going to happen. I feel like the code is going to be absolutely fucking crazy when people tried it, and would very much be, you know, rife for exploitation here and there. So, yeah, this is the best we've got. I like getting paid, don't get me wrong. If I somehow didn't like getting paid, then maybe I would have just kept this channel as a non-affiliate channel, but, you know, that's not happening. That's one huge, nasty-looking mouth on that thing. Think we really could go in there and come back alive? I mean, we're not talking about the Emperor's stomach here. Yep. We have an amulet with us. No surrender! We are now inside the dragon. Jesus Christ, this stomach is feral. Well, here we are. This is the water dragon's stomach, huh? Is it just me, or is it unbearably hot and humid in here? Well, the way this dragon is running amok, I'm sure we'll see all sorts of gruesome things down here. I just hope I don't lose my lunch. Think we're really gonna find that dragon orb in here, Amy? Yes. Another infinity, so I imagine we're gonna need to use all this ink at some point. Pearl, thank you. And then crystal. We're gonna get so many gifts, it's gonna be insane. And then a holy bone again. Horns. Yes, I like exploring. It is what it is. Ding. Wrong. I wasn't able to do the block thing on him, but it's okay. We still got top marks for our time and damage, so. Also, these scrolls are a little bit different by being blue. You to get your Dragon Fang as well. Yoo! Gotcha. Alrighty. Simples. Not fast on time, but pretty good. Oh, you bastards. Alright, never mind. There we go, got rid of Long Nose over here. Oh, that's to, you know, heal my health and what have you. I'm gonna be real with you, I was not having that much trouble. More crystal, because we have just so much fucking treasure. And we get rid of the skull to get ourselves some fruit. It has not been a tough time in this area. We've been doing fairly alright. Spoke too soon. Alrighty, so we need to now find... Well, I think I already found it, so... That was an easy find. Let me get real with you. Oh, hi there, Tin! Welcome, welcome! Hi! I recognize your name. You're, I'm trying to remember the name. You're like, you're Big Goat Lady, aren't you? Pretty sure you're Big Goat Lady. Could be wrong. Hopefully I'm not wrong. Are you the Big Goat Lady? Yeah, you are the Big Goat Lady! I'm sorry, I'm sorry that I can only know you as best as Big Goat Lady. I am so sorry, but that is the best I can come up with. Welcome, welcome! How's it going? How have you been doing with the arts? Look! Look, it's a goat lady. A Canadian Mouflon. Mouflon. Oh, okay. So not a goat lady. The Canadian Mouflon. I don't know what a Canadian Mouflon is. It's all tangled up in all this flappy stomach muscles. Looks like it's a glass ball or something. Alright, so we have all these, like, muscles to deal with. I wonder if... I don't think we have, like, any other... Won't budge. That water dragon sure doesn't want to give this up. Must be something really important. Yes, it is probably the dragon orb that we've been tasked to collect from their stomach. Ooh, that's not great. Dead end? I don't know where we are now, but I don't like the look of that lead wicket there. It's probably digest us in a second if we fell in. Alright, so that breaks that. What the heck are you doing? That red liquid is raining down! What happens if that flesh mass dissolves? Now you got me interested in it too. Here we go. Here we go. Thank you for the follow, Tulin of Rito Village. Welcome, welcome. Also, excuse the fact that we're having a little bit of frame droppage right now. My internet doesn't seem to be perfect. Oh, place is flooded with that icky green red liquid. We came to find the dragon orb, not to end up as lunch. So yeah, never played Okami before, and this is like my first time playing it, and I'm absolutely loving it. Ooh, that was almost a perfect spiral. Oh, okay, hang on, I got an idea, So now that we got this red liquid here, we can go and... Ah, I used up too much of my, what's-in-a-goosies. Hola! Awesome, it's not digesting. We just need to somehow... Oh, hang on. Is it rejuvenating? Yes! We don't have to deal with digestive juices. I'm imagining that red was digestive juices. If you're catching into the game now and you have no idea why Amaterasu, the goodest girl, is right now she's in the bowels of a dragon. So Now, we didn't get, like, vored explicitly, we, like, jumped into the mouth. Nice work, Amy. We finally got that dragon orb. Now we should be able to break the barrier on Oni Island. Once Himiko locates the island on her crystal ball, the enemy's stronghold will be totally exposed. Cool. Boy, you sure had a hard time pulling that orb out. I wonder if the dragon's gonna be okay. Oh, let's go, Amy. I mean, we got the orb. No use sticking around here. Uh-oh. That tells us we can't get out of here. And I'm guessing I'm guessing this is the dragon's, like, antibacterial response. What the heck? Are these the vengeful spirits of the people that the dragons gobbled up? No, wait. These aren't spirits. That weird color can only mean one thing. Foxfire. I have no idea what Foxfire is. I have completely forgotten if that was a thing. Foxes! There we go, got rid of them. Ah, nose. Excuse me. There we go. Did it! And I only had to use, like, 2 items. I'm probably gonna... Oh, I got a decent score. Okay, I didn't get a bad score for time or damage, so... Yay for me! The fuck is that? Fox rods. What the heck was that? It was kind of freaky. Looked like a bundle of bamboo tubes or something. I know. I bet those are the fox rods that Busty Babe wanted. You know, that ultimate weapon against the Dark Lord. Uh-oh, that's not good. Ah, I knew it. You should have tried to pull that orb out more gently. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Amy, let's move. I'm too young to be digested. Let's get out of here. No! We're running as fast as we can, so we're not digested by the giant dragon. Oh, he's falling down in the ocean. We need to get out of this ocean. God damn, he's huge. But we've defeated the dragon. A water dragon. It's dead. Now what are we supposed to do? We have the dragon ore, but no water dragon for it to control. No matter how hard Himiko tries to locate Oni Island, without that dragon, there's no way we can even break the barrier. Hey, something's coming. Huh? Amaterasu, origin of all that is good, and mother to us all. I'm afraid there's no time left for me to speak now, but I do need to thank you. What for? And who are you anyway? I am King Wada. Is he the water dragon or something? The 27th king of the Dragonians. Wada. King of the Dragonians? So then, you were that water dragon? It was I, the water dragon, god of the sea, ruler of the deep. O great god Amaterasu, as you well know, there are ill omens heralding the coming of great strife throughout Nippon. Even the Dragonians have suffered under the forces of darkness. They seek to prevent me from using my power, the power to break the barrier that protects Oni Island. I waged battle against the Dark Lord and consumed the dark instrument he wielded. But the instrument lodged in my stomach and drove me to madness. Instrument of the Dark Lord? You mean this thing? Yes, the Fox Rods. Without the Fox Rods, the Dark Lord has unlimited power. Now, all of the monsters are doing everything they can to locate them. I see. They're like a key to his power or something. I can rest easy, knowing they are in your hands, Amaterasu. I also seek that you give my wife Otahime the Dragon Orb. It is the heart of the dragon. It will bring peace to my people. Alas, my end is near. I have slain many innocents while in the grip of madness. I pray that their souls may rest in peace in these watery depths. These deep blue waters the people of Roshima Coast so dearly love. Farewell, Amaterasu. I shall pray for your good fortune. Ah, fucker died. This is why you're not supposed to eat things off the floor? He didn't eat it off the floor. He stole it from some shady people. That's what happened. He took it off some shady... He took it off a shady organization of some sort. But yeah, I do my best. And I'm alive. Boobies! Amaterasu, you made it! Busty babe! I saw the crazed water dragon thrashing about from the shore. So I hurried here to the Dragon Palace just in case. Aw, you didn't have to worry about us. I mean, nothing can stop old Amy here. Not fire, not water, not... Tell me, Amaterasu, what happened to the water dragon? Did he reveal the secret of penetrating Oni Island? Hey, it's not nice to interrupt. I was on a roll, baby! Anyway, the water dragon was actually the Dragonian king. He turned into a dragon to protect the Dragon Palace. And then pipes. He even snatched these fox rods from their boss. You found the fox rods? Come to think of it, weren't you looking for these, baby? Aren't they the ultimate weapon against the evil beings? Hey, wait a sec. What about what you said about the fox rods? You know, about the ship sinking before they reached the Himiko. Why'd we search that stupid ship if they weren't really in there? If you're still upset that I put you in danger, I'm sorry. But time is of the essence now. Give me the fox rods quickly. Now you just hold your melons, babe. I mean, if those monsters are frantically searching for them, whoever has them will have a huge bullseye on their back. Oh, cool. Amaterasu just gives it straight to boobies over here. Amaterasu? I hope you know what you're doing, you big furball. It's an eerie light they give out, yet somehow alluring. With this, my holy powers will reach their limit. I can destroy every last demon there is. Protecting Queen Himiko with this great power, that is my duty. But don't worry, Amaterasu. I must hurry back to the city now. I shall honor my duty with my life. Bye, boobies. With your life? Don't go getting yourself killed, baby. Ah, she's gone. Hey, Amy. Quit spacing out. We gotta deliver that dragon orb. We got from the water dragon to Otahime right away. We probably can't count on the power of the water dragon anymore, but the Dragonians still consider the dragon orb as their treasure. We better return it to them. I'm back, baby! Oh, what a relief to see that you are unharmed. And what of the dragon orb? Here you go. Toss it. Just yeet it. You retrieve the dragon orb from the dragon's body? I have no words to express my gratitude. Now that I have the dragon orb, I can harness the power of the water dragon and break the barrier around Oni Island. About that water dragon, it sunk to the bottom of the sea when we took that orb thing. Does that mean the king of the Dragonians is... I mean, is that king of the Dragonians really your... Yes, it is true. The water dragon was King Water, my husband. He performed the ancient Dragonian rite of transformation in order to battle the forces of darkness. But he was gravely wounded and flew into an uncontrollable rage. If the king is dead, then the law of succession must be fulfilled. The dragon orb had to be recovered, whatever the cost. Alas, the cost was the king's life. Hear me, Usun, as I have said before. The Dragonians have the resolve to do whatever is necessary. We mustn't hesitate. Now then, Amaterasu, what of the dark instrument of the Dark Lord? Surely you found it lodged in the water dragon's belly. Oh, you mean the fox rods? Queen Himiko's attendant took it. She said something about using its power against the evil beings. Himiko's attendant? It is true the dark instruments have unfathomable power, but evil beings are doing all in their power to find it too. I truly hope this attendant you speak of is trustworthy. All hope would be lost if it fell back into evil hands. For those who may not be aware, that sounds like foreshadowing. Yikes! What's up with this thing? A revelation, perhaps. Perhaps King Wada wishes you to wishes us to see something before he departs. Uh-oh. Himiko is being chased by the Dark Lord. We're gonna have to go back to the Sase Sanctuary. Yeah, that looks like the Dark Lord being chased. It looks like a nine-tailed fox or something. Do you have any idea what that vision meant? Come on, Amy. Where are you going, Amaterasu? No time to explain now, babe. We gotta get over to Enkoku Temple quick. Remember, Amaterasu, there is still hope. I shall wait here for the Queen Himiko's revelation. Let us meet once again wherever Omi Island may appear. May the gods of sea watch over you. I was meant to travel, like, directly to where we needed to go, but okay. Fine, I suppose. We'll go there the manual way, the slow way. God damn you. Please be back on the Orca. Yes! Heading back to the temple. Gotta get going. Dodging and weaving our way through. There she is! Why is she a ghost? Zyop, why is she a ghost? Whoa, it's the busty babe! Huh? She's gone. There she is again. Run, Amaterasu! Run! Wait, Busty Babe! She wants us to follow her. Not again. Where does she want us to go? We don't really have a way through rock. What the? See that, Amy? The Busty Babe went right through the wall. Alright, cool. We got ourselves a vase for that trouble. Whoa! Who would have thought there'd be a secret passage here? You feel a draft coming out of that well? It must lead to that Busty Babe, or I'm a monkey's uncle. Hurry, Amy! Leap before you think, right? Yep, let's leap before we think. What's the worst that can happen? Hey, there's a body here. Looks like it's been laying here forever. There's nothing but bones and some clothing left. Where have I seen clothes like that before? What did Bookie fish? A thong! Good for you, you fished a thong. Huh? Isn't this Himiko's palace? Why is there a tunnel from Ankoko Temple to here? Also, excuse me while I drop down here and... Uh-oh. Majesty. Hey, Toots! Where the heck happened? She passed out. Himiko! Huh? What the heck happened? Hey, pretty lady! Himiko! She's dead? It was terrifying. A monster 10 times my height appeared. It destroyed the magical barrier and left Queen Himiko like that. Busty Babe, is that you? What monster are you talking about? That ginormous thing that attacked you at Ankoko Temple? I'm scared now. The evil being we must defeat to save the people in the city. Their leader is such a mighty beast. No human could stand up to it. Our feeble mortal resistance is futile. Dang it. Himiko said she'd be okay as long as she had that crystal ball. So how the heck did this happen? Hey Amy, why'd you keep staring at the Busty Babe? Himiko's dead, aren't you the least bit sad? What's wrong, Amy? Amaterasu? What are you doing? Down, Amy. Have you lost your mind? Are you in the grip of the evil curse as well? Huh? Kanji Zabo Satsu. Gyojin Han Nya Ha Ra Mi Ta Ji. Shoken Go An Kaku. Dosi Saikun Yaku. Ah! What the? What's up with those freaky eyes of yours, babe? You're freaking me out. Oh, we got deceived by Rao is what we got. Carrying on with this any longer would spoil the fun. You are a cunning beast, Amaterasu. I lured you to the treasure ship as bait for the water dragon. But you escaped and managed to get your paws on the lucky mallet. You even cleared the city of the poison mist. You also started searching for Oni Island to bring down my fortress. And you even managed to tame the mighty water dragon. But now that the water dragon has gone, my fortress is impregnable. And Himiko is but a lifeless corpse. You'll never know where Oni Island is now. Ah ha 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 ha! Luck must be on my side. Occupying the body of this priestess Rao made it so simple. Breaking Himiko's magical barrier was easy once I got close to her. Amy, where's the busty babe we know and love? It's all thanks to this item you got back from the water dragon. All because the fox rods are mine once again. Amaterasu, you foolish beast! To think that you parted with this mighty source of magic so easily. Know that it was you who revived the powers of the Dark Lord. Oh, joy. Neat. Also, hi there, Minty Fresh. Welcome to the stream. The Grand Master of Evil Beings? The fox rods made the crystal ball's barrier shatter like glass. Oh, if only you'd been here to see Himiko die. I think I'll take the crystal ball with me in the event that one of your pathetic friends tries to locate me. Oh, god damn it, Rao. And if I deal with you now too, Amaterasu, nothing will stand in the way of my world of evil beings. Amy, remember the Dragonian King's revelation? He was showing us how Foxface here killed the real busty babe. Boy, she's a real good faker. She had me totally fooled. And look what she did to poor little Himiko. Well, at least we won't have to worry about Oni Island anymore. We're gonna finish you off right here. Alright, let's do our best. Hi there, Jack. There we go. Did it! Alright, let's get this weird orb thing that Himiko was protecting. Okay, we have her now, Amy. Let's finish off that fox-headed wench. Uh-oh. What the fuck was that? Oh, more fox lights. God fucking damn it. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. How many tails was that? Ignorant fools, do you really think it would be that easy? I have powers beyond belief. Here is but a taste of what the Dark Lord can do. Uh-oh, that's a lot of power. I cannot see the number of tails on this thing. Wait, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it is a 9-tails fox. Petty deity, it is only the size of this room that saved you. It is far too small for me to unleash my true fury. However, resistance is futile, for your last remaining hope is gone. I shall return to Oni Island and rally my dark forces. Then we'll go forth and crush all who stand against the darkness. A Rising Wyvern, thank you so much for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. I do not know how far into Okami I've gone at this point. For all I know, I'm like halfway through or something really low like that. This is my first time playing Okami. Yes, it is. Amaterasu has allowed the Dark Lord to slip away. The display of evil sent chills down the wolf's spine. Amaterasu and Isud were left to wallow in overwhelming sadness. Himiko has remained steadfast in her quest to find Oni Island. In the end, she lost her life at the hands of the Dark Lord. With Himiko died all clues to the location of Oni Island, Amaterasu and Isen were left with nary a shred of hope. Giving up on their quest seemed the only option. That's when they noticed that the blood-caked crystal ball spewed forth by the Dark Lord clearly displayed an image of Himiko. Isun doubted his eyes, listened intently as Himiko began speaking. She explained that Oni Island would not be easy to find, and that she had determined to become ethereal and enter the crystal ball. Crystal Ball herself, in search of clues, she has allowed herself to be consumed in order to use the Dark Lord's power. She was also aware that the Dark Lord now possesses the Fox Rods. All was planned. Himiko's will infused the crystal ball with great power. The fortress housing the Dark Forces materialize. Oni Island appears only at sunset in a certain location. The place revealed by the crystal ball was none other than a spot just off the northwest shore of Hiroshima coast, known as Watcher's Cape. Oni Island would appear again at Watcher's Cape at the next sunset. A small glimmer of hope returned to our heroes' hearts. Just as the image of Oni Island faded from the crystal, a deep crack appeared and split Himiko's image. She had paid the ultimate price for manipulating the dark power. The crystal ball itself has been spent. The destiny of Himiko's very soul had been inextricably intertwined with that of the crystal ball. A burst of blinding light heralded the crystal's demise. Himiko's soul was caught up in the shattered fragments and drifted serenely towards the heavens above, even as she prayed fervently for Amaterasu's safe passage. Just like Himiko, you have also escaped work? Nice! Congratulations for escaping work, Jack. Amy! The sun's gonna set soon! Oni Island's gonna disappear! That revelation Himiko risked her life to tell us! Whatever we do, we can't let it go to waste! Who cares if we can't break the barrier on Oni Island? Let's make a beeline for Watcher's Cape, Amy! Oh joy. Alrighty. Okay, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna save my progress here. Bing, bong, bam. I am gonna save my progress here. And I am actually going to end the stream at this point here. I am exhausted, I am so sorry to say. Granted, it's only been 2.5 hours, but, you know, like I said, I'm tired. I'm a sleepy boy. I would very much like to have some sleeps. Plus, my internet has been a little bit funky, and the leap motion tracking is also being weird as well. I am so sorry if you're excited to see more. Unfortunately, it is a case of the energies and what have you. I will get back onto this game next week. I will be streaming it again Monday evening. Maybe Monday morning, I'm not 100% certain, because next Monday I don't have to work. Or I'm going to try to not have to work on that Monday, because, you know, I'm working on the Saturday shift. So, the next time I'm going to be streaming is Saturday evening. So, imagine this time, go back 2 hours, and then go forward Thursday. Go forward 3 days. So go forward 3 days and then back 2 hours, and that's where I'm gonna be, and that's when I'm gonna be streaming next. So, yeah, that is going to be it for me tonight. Now then, let me just have a quick look and see who is online and who we can go and raid. Let's. Ooh, someone's playing 9 Souls and they're doing. I don't know if. I got attracted by the big boobies. I don't know if we can actually mention boobies there, so let's not go for the boobies there. Let's go for... You know what? Let's go for Zephora. Zephora has, you know, gotten back into streaming from the looks of it, and it looks like they have a new model. So we're gonna go and get ready to raid into Zephora. Looks like she's gonna have a wonderful time. Hopefully you will all give her a wonderful time. We are gonna go with our short and sweet himbo raid message. We're using the dad body mode because that's the latest one. I love it. I hope you'll join in with me on that one. Also, hi there, Alpha Wolf. Thank you so much for following. I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, otherwise, thank you everyone who came along to tonight's stream. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for all of those who came along from Maisie Horgy's raid, and thank you so much for sticking around after that. I hope you all had a wonderful evening. I know it's short, but that's how the cookie crumbles with low energies. I hope to be a lot better for you on Saturday or next Monday. Otherwise, I hope you have a good morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever it is you are. Hopefully, I'll see you all in the raid or on Saturday night stream, or hopefully I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.